Hi everyone, I'm back again with Confessions of a Law School Nobody. And if you didn't meet me before, I'm Sierra and I'm a 3L at Drake University in Des Moines. And I just wanted to come back today and offer my top 5 myths about law school. So, number one, you're guaranteed a six-figure job once you graduate. I'd say this is one of the top myths of law school because given the job market as it is right now, there's people struggling to even get $60,000 a year jobs. I have several friends who did really well in school and, they're just making 60, 70, $80,000 a year and not even doing what they want. So, um, I'd say that's one of the biggest myths. And, the career development office won't tell you that. The admissions office won't tell you that because, of course, they want that tuition money. But I'm here to tell you that that's one of the biggest myths. And if that's what you're going into law school for, you're going to be really sadly mistaken and very disappointed if that's what you think is going to happen. So that's my top myth for law school. Secondly, if you're not in the top half, top 10, top 20% of your class, you're basically dumb. That's my second myth. That couldn't be further from the truth. I've said it before, I'm not in the top part of my class. I'm actually very low in my class, but um, I think the environment of law school, it makes you feel like um, that you're inadequate. Like, oh, I got a C. When you know in undergrad, like you got all A's, or high school you got all A's, undergrad you got all A's, and you come into law school and you're getting C's, low B's and C's, and maybe even D's. So, I don't want you to be discouraged by class rankings or anything like that because they're not a true indicator of your potential. They're not a true indicator of, all the intelligence that you have accumulated over your years of education. So don't be discouraged by that. And I definitely think that's a myth um, to believe that a class ranking determines how intelligent you are. Um, my third myth would be how you do in law school determines how great of a lawyer you're going to be. Um, Not necessarily true. Like I said before previously, I'm not in the top portion of my class, but you know what? I make up for it in practical experience. I make up for it in research experience. I make up for it by being active. I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. So I play up my strengths. I minimize my weaknesses to be a fierce advocate for whoever I'm working for, or whoever um, that I'm doing work for. I think that's really important. So don't think that getting all A's, graduating cum laude, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, or order of the coif, which is the top like 1% or something like that of your class. Don't be discouraged by any of those things. They're not harsh and serious indicators of how great of a lawyer you'll be. It all basically determines on how much work you're willing to put after you take that bar exam, how fierce of an advocate you'll be for your clients. So don't let that deter you at all. My fourth myth about law school is everyone's rich. Oh, that definitely couldn't be further from the truth. I grew up in a two-parent household, a two-income household for the most part. There was 8 of us. I have 8 siblings. So I'm definitely not rich. I'm definitely not one of those um, pretentious people that are in law school and have mom and dad pay for the tuition. Definitely couldn't be further from the case for me. So don't think that when you see your other classmates that may have that Burberry tie, Burberry briefcase, or all this flashy stuff, which is what happened to me my very first day of law school. I saw a guy with a Burberry tie. He couldn't be more than 21, 22. A Burberry tie, talking about a Rolex, talking about his parents going to Spain, all this stuff on the very first day. And I mean, I'm sure he was just trying to do that to show off to somebody, but don't let that scare you because not everybody is in law school is there with the silver spoon. A lot of us had to work. A lot of us had to write a lot of scholarship essays to be there. So don't think that. Don't feel like it's a completely pretentious environment. It's just getting to know your peers and, kind of getting their background so you can feel more comfortable around them. And my last myth about law school is that it needs to be 3 years. And I know this is not really a myth, but this is kind of my own personal feeling. Um, I'm in my third year now, of course, and I kind of coast by. I only have actually three law school classes right now because I'm in a joint degree program, but I mean, they're a cakewalk. So I would much rather feel like that time could be spent with practical experience rather than just taking random classes that I'll never use um, in my practice if I do practice once I graduate. So I think that's the biggest myth that these administrators pull. National Association of Bar Examiners, everybody. I think that's a huge myth that it needs to be 3 years long. It definitely does not. 2 years would have been great. By your second year, you'll have all your required classes out of the way if you time it correctly. So I definitely think it could be reduced. And of course, what do I know? I'm not an administrator. I'm just a student here. But I definitely think that's a myth about law school, and definitely could go easy on your pocketbook if it was less than 3 years. But those are my top 5 myths, and I'll just recap them. First, you're guaranteed a six-figure job. Stop right now if that's what you think going to law school entails. Stop. Second, if you're not in the top portion of your class, you're dumb. That's definitely not true. 3, how you do in law school is going to be a serious indicator of how you're going to be as an attorney. Not necessarily true at all either. 4, everyone's rich. Definitely not. And 5, law school needs to be 3 years. I don't agree with that, but I'm definitely open for your feedback and your comments. So stay tuned for more episodes of Confessions of a Law School Nobody. And I'm Sierra, and you guys have a good night. Bye.